Good afternoon and welcome back to Fujitsu Forum TV, where you join us on Media Day ahead of the doors opening at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to have another attempt at bringing you this live interview, the wonders of live broadcast and technology. Every now and then a cable falls out, doesn't it? But hopefully we're back and you're seeing us. I'm delighted to say we're joined by the co-creation team, Rüdiger and Frickenschmidt and Joe Box. Joe, we've spoken many times about the wonders of the co-creation program that's going on. Rudy, I want to understand a bit about what's going on this afternoon, because you're co-creating with service providers. So what's happening? What's being revealed at Forum this afternoon?
It's going to be super exciting. We brought 90 people together, 60 service providers from all around Europe and 30 top guys from Fujitsu to co-create together with Joe Box. So I'm very much dependent now on Joe and his team to deliver. What we're trying to do is to connect those players. So it's really building an ecosystem where we are facilitating this one. We are not just about selling to these guys. We're actually looking at how they can create new solutions, new markets together. We bring co-locators, we bring managed service providers, we bring AI specialists together, all kind of different flavors of service providers who have now joined us, some of them in different co-creation sessions before, but now we're really excited to find their specific contribution and find new business outcomes. So it's exciting.
What are the challenges right now within the ICT landscape for service providers? And the co-creation philosophy, how is that helping to address some of those challenges?
Good question. I think the main challenges for service providers today is they can't do it all by themselves anymore, so they need to become service integrators. Right? They can integrate the public cloud, but they can also say, well, I don't really like to own the data center. I buy that from a co-location part. I don't really want to manage this hardware. I buy the hardware managed by somebody else. I don't have the AI specialist, but I can create the platform underneath. So they need to find their needs and their specialization. And of course, they have pressure from the public cloud to create something different than just basically a server and as a service. So that is the key thing for them.
I'm interested by your gathering of businesses this afternoon, because I believe some of these organizations, they're rival businesses. They wouldn't normally be working together.
Yeah, it's a kind of frenemy economy. I think that's the term we use a lot here. So we have people who compete at the end customer side, but then they have the specialization, which I can also sell to the other service providers. So if you bring guys like, we have Equinix with us, for example, or Digital Reality, or Cyxtera, or Ficolo from Finland, they all have data centers and provide capacity, but they have their specialization. Equinix needs people to bring the upper layer. So a company like Severius, who brings AI platform as a service to this one, is a big value for those. We have telco providers coming into this. We have utilities who are entering this market now who need connections, or people just busy in their own market. But basically we see, when we bring them together, we create the trust. And that's the base to go forward. So even if you take a small country like Netherlands or Finland as such, you actually see that you can bring competitors together at the same table to create new ideas, new business opportunities.
Is it difficult getting competitors together, or are we now amidst an age where more people are open-minded to that?
Well, I think it's absolutely the time now for ecosystem. This is the big term. We're using it now for 1 year, but now it has become the fashion, which is more or less just the directory of partners you bring together. What we do is we really show them you can add value to each other, and they're opening up in the business opportunities. And I've seen people exactly in the same field saying, but this is how we could do this one. We are backup as a service provider, the other one as well. What we do is Combo, we do is Veritas. This is how it works, but we can actually add value here. It really becomes exciting, and they see both clearly the value on it, and they don't share secrets on how to do deals. There's clear firewalls. This is about how to provide better service to the customers, and this is really cool.
Joe, I want to talk about the human-centric design process. I know we've covered it over the last few years quite a bit, but from a service provider perspective, how is that philosophy and that process helping them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really exciting challenge for us. 90 people arriving literally as we're speaking. So
we won't hold you up too long.
Yeah. And Rudy's touched on a couple of points actually that we use our HXD, our human-centric experience design process, to really address. The first is we talked about ecosystem. There's a danger that that's just a passive term, that it recognises people who maybe work together, who are in the same sort of industry, the same field. Actually, using human-centric experience design for our service provider community, we can make that an active ecosystem where actually we're creating connections that maybe they didn't know existed. Maybe they didn't realize that, yes, we're a competitor in one geography, but in another we can actually work together. So creating connections helps us to make their ecosystem really active. So I think that's one of the things that HXD can do. And I guess the second thing is that the trust word that Rudy mentioned, that what we have to do is very quickly get people to see that they can work together, that they have mutual interest, that they can both derive value, and actually their mutual customer, their end customer, their consumer can actually get real value out of their joint proposition as well. And that's where Fujitsu really helps, because we bring obviously our technology experts, people who have great commercial understanding of this market. You've heard Rudy speak. He's a real expert in this field. And actually, if we combine that with that really active ecosystem, then you end up with a very powerful concept in the matter of hours. And that's what we're going to do this afternoon.
Coming back to this afternoon, what sort of benefits are you hoping to see by the back end of the day with your guests? I'm interested to hear views from both of you. So really, what do you think this afternoon is going to yield?
Well, as I said, I really hope we create new connections between those players. That is a fantastic thing. Take Cyxtera, for example. They are bringing in our platform now together with Nutanix as a service. That's an offering to our channel partners. That is an offering to our end customers. But it's also an offering to other service providers who don't want to bother with the hardware anymore, just want to have the capacity, want something secure. Cyxtera is something like 50 data centers all around. To know exactly where the servers are, especially public sector, so it could be very interesting. So bring those players together. That is super exciting, I think.
Brilliant.
Other things have discussion around use scale or financial models. So providing pay-per-use models. So we're going to sit together also saying, so how can we improve? How can Fujitsu actually pick the right model? Because a pay-per-use model is a bit like insurance you buy. You don't want to buy an over package, right? You don't want to have a third row of teeth or something insured. You want to exactly insure the problems you have, or the challenges you have, or the risks, and not just getting something you actually don't need, because it will have a premium. Another topic is AI. This whole thing, the biggest part of this one will be about our AI platform, how to provide this as a service, which I think is a fantastic alternative to public cloud offerings. Right? You can actually get this on-premise or at a co-location data center as a service, and then build your AI service on top. So innovative small companies, they don't really like to touch hardware. They have the data scientists. They like to actually write the code. They're writing the applications. They just need a very functioning, great platform, which we have. Providing this as a platform through this ecosystem could be a really great benefit.
Exciting. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, well, I'll keep it short. I think in addition to making connections, actually, how do we get these smart people, these really clever companies, to do something very purposeful? So what we're going to get this afternoon is 4 amazing propositions that they'll be looking to commercialize next week and onwards.
Very quickly, because I know you've got to run. 3 years ago, we were talking downstairs in the hall. You were doing your presentation. Could you, for 1 minute, have thought the co-creation program would be as successful as it has been, and you'd be here today welcoming 90 guests?
Well, I'm absolutely delighted it's been so successful. But I guess what it tells us is that to address our digital transformation challenges, to deal with some of the uncertainty in the market, people need to talk with each other. People need to collaborate.
We're going to be hearing more from the co-creation team over the next couple of days. In fact, we're going to have the roaming cameras out and downstairs showing you the co-creation centre that's actually been built here at Fujitsu Forum. Still plenty more insight to come this afternoon on Media Day here ahead of the doors opening tomorrow. Up next, we're actually going to be speaking. What time are we at? We're in about 6 minutes' time. We're going to be looking at hybrid and the impact that that's having on society. Big topic at the moment. 90% of organisations by 2020 have a hybrid solution, but have they got the right strategy and have they got security baked in? We're going to be exploring that in about 6 minutes' time. Stay with us, plenty more to come.